What's going on, YouTube? It's SC and Facebook channel, Mr. A&E. Back, you guys know the WWE Hell in a Cell 2020 review, and of course, my partner in crime, not Deion Sanders, Prime Time.
What's up?
So,
D-R-I-M-E.
welcome to Insomnia, bro. So, we are here for a Hell in a Cell review. It just went off the air about an hour ago. I mean, a little bit older than that. And it was a short show, but I give it just, a thumbs up show. There were some things that I was just like, I figured this was going to be the thing. And I think one of the problems of tonight's show was match order. Because I don't think what the main event should have been the main event. But we'll get all into that. So without any further ado, let's go right into Hell in a Cell. I did not see the pre-show, why did they even have one?
They had a pre-show?
I heard, I think they're supposed to do like R2 versus Drew Gulak for 24/7 championship.
Well, yeah, I know who won that one because R2 never loses.
I ain't see that one. I ain't gonna lie. But we go into the main show, and the first Hell in a Cell match we start out with is the I Quit match between the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns and his cousin Jey Uso. First of all, I was shocked that this was even opening the show.
I think I know why they did it first when we see the end result. I think I know why they did it first.
Okay, so you want to talk about the match before you go with why?
Yeah.
Okay, so Jey Uso comes out, Urban Youth like all white, but he got his lay on, and then the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns comes out, and this Hell in a Cell match is basically what I expected it to be. It was very slow paced, methodical. Roman Reigns is sitting there punishing Jey Uso, giving him spear after spear, giving dialogue, talk about something. In about 10 minutes, you're going to really wish you didn't do this matchup in 10 minutes. But then Jimmy Uso starts getting a little bit of a comeback, tries to dive to the outside. Roman Reigns stops it. But he comes back in, gives him a super kick. Uso splash, ain't doing nothing. Then he goes in there and gets the whole leather strap belt, not the Cody belt, but, leather strap belt, starts spanking him, hitting Roman right there in the back and everything. But then Roman again, spear out of nowhere. And they can ask him, do you quit? Do you quit? Then he brings him to the side of the apron, gives him a drive-by shot, the drive-by kick, and asks Jimmy to quit. Yeah. Gets the steel steps. Puts it, Jimmy's head is right there by the turnbuckle post, and it still steps. So he runs up and gives him a shotgun kick right there across his head. So now Jay's out. Jey Uso is out. He's not even responding, and they're already trying to call it off. And Roman's like, "No, man, you ain't gonna call this stuff off because you already
was talking like he had a second job to go to or so."
Exactly. He was like,
"Hey, you gotta. I'm stopping this. I'm done. Okay, I got somewhere else to be.
Why
he has somewhere else to be?
Why do they think like trying to stop a Hell in a Cell match is great? It's just terrible. Like take all this fighters in the background, take this shit away.
They stopped it 2 years in a row, so
Yeah, you're right. Then Roman tossed the referee outside the cage, and then he flew. He flew like he was one of them, WEW refs. And then another ref comes down, everybody had a picture all the time. I said, Roman, man, stop, he's unresponsive, man. Let it go. I'm like, don't do this shit again. So then here comes he goes to his steps.
He had a line of the night, I'm not gonna lie.
Which line?
When everybody was outside, he said, ain't nobody getting in here, and he closed the door.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Nobody ain't getting in here.
He's about to get the steel steps and then just ram it right there on his cousin's head. But then Jimmy come out, no man, get off of him, man, get off of him. He start doing that, thug crying and stuff like that. He's like, you supposed to be part of the family, we gotta be like this. So Roman's sitting there breaking down, acting like he having a cry moment. He's sitting down with his family, but like he's about to cry. He actually is kind of crying. And then him and Jimmy, locking hands like, where they gotta be like this. But then he takes Jimmy Uso, starts giving him like the dragon or the chokehold, the guillotine chokehold, and then he's trying to wake up Jay like, yo man, help me out, man, help me out. So Jake, he grabs his hand.
I'm surprised he took that.
Say what?
I'm surprised he took that guillotine.
Yeah, I don't know how injured he is or what his injury is at.
But he had like a torn ACL. He's like holding up the weight of Roman. I thought that was like, oh, okay. Well,
yeah. So and he's doing that. So the Jay wakes up and he grabs it. He's like, no, man, don't hurt him. I quit. So Jey Uso says he quits. Roman Reigns wins the matchup. And then, the Usos are devastated. Roman goes up there. You see Alpha and Sika up there from the Wild Samoans. Roman Reigns' dad and everything. And now he's the tribal chief. He leads the family. And the Usos is out of the family. So this was the opening matchup. Tell me why you thought it was the opening matchup, and tell me what you thought of the match.
Say that one more time.
Tell me why you told me in the beginning why you knew it was the opening matchup, and I said, what's your thoughts on the match?
I think it was the opening matchup because they had to get Aka and Sika home before it was their bedtime.
Yeah.
But
my wife said the same thing. My wife said the same
it had to be, right? They look like they.
You don't bring them men out there during this pandemic. You don't bring these men out there during this pandemic. But no, they came out there. I was like,
care, obviously.
They sleepy.
Anyway. Now, the match was okay. I think it's probably maybe the best match as far as like emotionally and match wise, and it was kind of brutal. So yeah, I'm saying it was a good match.
Here's the thing. I didn't have a problem with the matchup. I had a problem with the stipulation. And believe it or not, it wasn't the Icon stipulation. This didn't need to be in the cell.
Well, everything got to be in Hell in the Cell.
That's what I'm saying. The problem I have with Hell in the Cell is, one, Hell in the Cell match, okay. Two, cool. But when you're doing three, it's redundant. You do way too much when you do three. And then that way, you already know a cell match has to get pushed back or something has to happen for that match for it not to get the kind of shine. They didn't get to use as many weapons as Sasha and Bayley did, and they didn't get to lead a cage like Roman and Orton did. So they had to be retained, and this happens every time you have three cell matches on the same card, which it gets too much because there's only a certain amount of stuff you can do in a cell match 3 times in one night. I think you should have 2. You should have this, your main event one and your mid card one. That's what the cell should be. So this one could have just been an I Quit match, and then it would start off that way, and I would have been cool with it. But having the cell with it felt as though it wasn't needed. They didn't do much with it. Really, everything he could have been outside the cell. Mm-hmm. If he had like a spot where he was like handcuffed him and was just beating Jimmy down or something like that, and man said it's something different, but they didn't even do that. So it told a decent story. We can move on from this, but the cell wasn't needed, in my personal opinion.
I mean, it's never needed, but they just got to push it towards in October. So
that's why I hate the show as a Hell in a Cell show. All right, so now we go to our mid-card matches. We got Elias taking on Jeff Hardy. So Elias comes out, does the walk with Elias stuff. They can't quite sync up the walk with Elias. Crowd noise with him, obviously. The match takes place.
By the way, real quick, Elias buried Jeff Jarrett on the kickoff show because he had the first name Jeff, like Jeff Hardy.
Elias did what? He buried Jeff Jarrett?
Elias buried Jeff Jarrett on the kickoff show because he has the same name as Jeff Hardy, the same first name as Jeff Hardy.
Oh, wow. Well,
I think Jeff Jarrett was just there talking. Well, yeah.
I should have seen that.
They have these like talking smack shows. I didn't know that they actually came on TV. I thought they just like on the network or something. Because like after SmackDown, I was watching. I guess I kept it on the same channel. They came on FS1, and Booker T and all them was on there, and he was telling one of my favorite stories of him and Corey Graves. But he was telling I ain't gonna do it when I see you at Starbucks. I ain't gonna do nothing to you then. When I see you in the street, I'm gonna do something to you. That Booker T's story has got to be one of the best.
Yeah, he is, but the Black Snow. So, this matchup wasn't really much of anything. Jeff hits the Whisper in the Wind, then hits the Twist of Fate on Elias, goes for the Swanton. Elias moves out to the apron, and Jeff turns. I'm like, please don't waste an apron Swanton and Hell in the Cell. Don't do that stuff. That shit, it's stupid. And then Elias goes to the outside. I thought Jeff's going to jump like, bro, you're too old for this. So he jumps down, goes to the outside, and then picks up Elias' guitar, hits it right in the back with the guitar. So Elias is on the floor flailing like Devon Dudley. And Jeff Hardy loses the match by DQ. So that's how that one ended. It was nothing but a TV matchup. And obviously these matches were here to just give a buffer between each Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah, it was
So
weird. This feud is
your
still
thoughts on
weird
that?
to me. This feud is still weird to me.
Hello?
That's all I got to say.
Bro, literally, it just like froze and then came back. So that's all I got to say.
Oh,
That's literally what it just did on my end.
nah, I said this feud is still weird to me. Like this whole Elias thinking Jeff Hardy still did it, even though it's proven Sheamus did it. But all right, you know, sure.
Like, yeah, I hope they explain that some more, especially as we're about to go into Survivor Series. So
How can you? I don't. What is there to explain? Elias
it
don't
really
watch
is. I'm just saying,
TV.
well, let him. She got to know that Sheamus is the one that did this. So
Yeah, that Sheamus just blackmail him, or is he drunk? Is that what it is? Elias is drunk and he just.
I don't
I
know.
don't
I
know.
mean, things can happen since his album come out tomorrow, or by the time
But
y'all seeing this today, the 26th.
I can understand if it's like a kayfabe thing and he put it on Jeff Hardy. But it's like even if you watch the show, Sheamus said he did it.
Yeah.
I don't
Oh,
know. I don't know.
sometimes WWE is just very not consistent. We all know this. Next
Yeah.
matchup for the Money in the Bank briefcase, it's Miz taking on Otis. So we see what happened with the Law and Otis in the court with JBL, Ron Simmons, and I was about to say Teddy Pendergrass, Tay Law. I was about to say TP.
Nah, player.
Actually, I went to go get my dinner at this time, so I missed most of the match. I did when I came back. Morrison's about to use the briefcase on Otis. The referee stops him and he turns it away. But then as Otis is going for the briefcase, it looks like Tucker grabs him and just wails on Otis. And the turn happens, and the Miz goes up, and I think his question finale, and then beats Otis and wins the Money in the Bank briefcase.
I think that was an unnecessary turn over the tag team. Another unnecessary breakup of a tag team. But hey,
That's
we
the
got
one
like
thing.
30 tag teams, right? We got like two.
We had a lot, like we really have no tag teams anymore. And I'm like, they did the same thing with Enzo and Cass, where they didn't even get a chance to win the championship yet before they broke them up. And the same thing with Heavy Machinery. Heavy Machinery could have been tag team champions, whether it be SmackDown or Raw. And I felt as though that this feud, like, there's unnecessary because I don't think none of them is going to be good on their own. Otis had a hot year in 2020 when the whole year was going to shit. Otis had a decent
Yeah,
year.
but that was because of Mandy Rose, and then they split Mandy Rose up from him. And then it's
Exactly.
like, well,
So
now what?
they took Mandy Rose. They took his Money in the Bank briefcase. So I'm just like, hey, but even though he won the Money in the Bank this year too, and had that WrestleMania moment, but now I'm like, all that's done. What's Otis? He's on SmackDown, and then Tucker's on Raw. Now Tucker did cut a good promo, talk about something. It's always about Tucker gotta come save Otis. Come tag in Tucker so Otis can do the go tag Otis. Otis can do the worm, or Otis can tie his shoes without me. So he did a good promo, but I don't think it's going to lead too much to anything. It'd be maybe Mandy Rose goes heel and goes with Tucker, and then Otis loses everything, but that doesn't help out anything at all. Where you just demolished another tag team on your main card to the point where now really the only tag teams are left. Real talk, the legit tag teams are the champions for the New Day and the Street Profits, but every other tag team on Raw and SmackDown are mismatched people put together. Cesaro, Nakamura, Ziggler, and Rude. Now they're trying to put Kevin Owens and Daniel Bryan together. And I'm like, these are single stars. You got tag team wrestlers, huh?
At least Rude and Ziggler won the titles.
Yeah, you can make the argument on Raw. I don't even know. I mean, Retribution's dead in the water. Her business hasn't established they have a tag team part yet. I mean, they got a stable, but I'm just saying, like, that's all that stuff sucks. And I'm just like, well, it was very unnecessary.
Against hates tag teams.
We get now. It's time for Hell in a Cell the second one. Bailey taking on Sasha Banks, aka Cake back there. Well, I talk about Bailey.
Now, I was going to text you this, but I didn't. But Deonna Purrazzo yesterday had the best attire of the week. And I was like, if anybody can top it, I think Sasha Banks can top it. She almost did.
She almost did?
But yeah, she almost did. But not. But this still attire is still like good, especially with the blue hair. I think it. If she would have had like blue accents, it would have definitely stuck out.
Yeah, but hold on. Now Bailey was looking sweet too, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Bailey had the all black, and then Sasha had the all white.
I loved it.
I
loved it. I really loved it. This matchup to me was the match of the night.
Okay.
And this match to me, I'm going to go on a limb and say that this one was the best women's Hell in the Cell match you ever had.
I will say this is the second best.
You think Sasha Becky was better?
Yes. Only because I don't even. This shouldn't even count in my book. This match shouldn't even been a match, but whatever.
I mean,
but nah,
I know we're mad
cool.
about the storyline, and I didn't want this on this show, but I'm gonna give credit where it's credit due because of all the history that they did and the callbacks that they did in this matchup. Like, don't get me wrong, I think Charlotte and Sasha was the weakest one because that was the first one. But I think that this one, especially with Bailey,
Sasha Banks trended on Twitter for like 3 days.
Yeah, for the wrong reasons. So, they start off. Bailey tries to exit the cage as it's lowering, and Sasha's like, "No, we're not having it." Bailey is going under there trying to find weapons and kendo sticks. Sasha takes it and throws out the cage like, "No, we ain't having it." So, that's the game that Bailey's trying to play. There was a spot that there's so many spots in this one. Bailey pulls out a table, but Sasha has it leaned up like against the cell. It kind of like runs up and do a meteor on Bailey. Great spot there. Bailey does her little sunset flip power bomb to Sasha in the corner, and she hits a steel chair. There was a time where Sasha Banks does her like a sunset flip power bomb off the apron to Bailey onto the cage. That was like these women were really tearing each other apart.
Mm-hmm.
There's one point Sasha takes these two kendo sticks and bridges them from the steel steps to the Hell in the Cell. But then as she's running, Bailey trips her and she falls through the kendo stick to the neck first. So selling that neck injury, I thought that was hot.
Selling the broken neck, huh?
Yes.
That only used only after 2 weeks, huh?
Yeah. All right. Yeah, you're right. Sasha tries to go for the bank statement, but then Bailey gets out, stumps at the bottom, and then Sasha gets caught up in the apron, and then Bailey starts wailing on her with a kendo stick, and then she tries to get two kendo sticks and ties them together with tape. It obviously is not working, so she just says, "Screw this plan," and drops the kendo sticks. I was like, okay, cool. We moving on from there, and we go back in, and Bailey has two chairs. She sets up. Pulls out a ladder and has a ladder bridging on two chairs that has Sasha on there. She takes this spray paint NW plane. She spray paints an X on Sasha's chest, and then she go gets her chair where X marks the spot. She plans on doing her Bailey elbow from the top rope, second rope, and jumps down. Sasha moves out the way, so she misses. Then Sasha jumps over the ladder, jumps on the ladder, and does a meteor to her in the corner. That looked hot. Knocks the ladder already falls and gives her own belly to belly on the ladder, pins Bailey, but Bailey kicks out. I think they did a good job with the near falls in this match opposed to just like everybody's finisher. And like Sasha, I would love that Sasha pull out the bankrupt because she ain't used that move in like 6 years.
Yeah, I don't think she'd even do that move like at all
anymore. Exactly. I don't even know what she does. So when they're on the outside, Bailey gives her that EC3 finishing move, playing Sasha's head in there, rolls her back in there. Sasha, huh?
The Rose plant.
The Rose plant. Okay, so yeah,
I think that's what they called it. Yeah.
She does that, rolls Sasha back into the ring, and then pins her. But then Sasha kicks out. So we're like, what's it going to have to do to beat this woman? So as she's going to get the chair, Sasha goes and she gives a belly to belly to Sasha. Sasha kicks out, but then she tries to get a belly to belly with the chair on her back. Sasha reverses that, puts her in the bank stand, puts Bailey's head in the chair and does the bank stand, but as a callback to 2015, remember when Sasha was stomping on Bayley's hand to get away from the ropes? Well, she's stomping on the chair, and the chair is just really racking on Bayley's neck to the point where she has no choice but to tap out. Sasha Banks is the first time SmackDown Women's Champion after Bayley held the championship for 380 days. I thought that whole thing was great. It was a great match to me. It was one of the best women's, in my opinion, the best women's Hell in a Cell match they did to the story. I just wished this was at WrestleMania, but now I have a new WrestleMania plan since Sasha's the champion, if she could hold on to it, because Bayley gonna try to come for a rematch, even though this should be the end of the feud with the Hell in the Cell. But let me get your opinion on the Hell in the Cell, the match.
No, I thought it was cool. The match was cool. It had good spots, good callbacks. Yeah, but I'm glad Sasha won. Hopefully, she can retain it and move on from Bayley and fight like Bianca. Give Bianca a chance. I don't know.
That's my WrestleMania 37 match. Bianca Belair taking on Sasha Banks. Sasha versus Sasha 2.0. That's the match I want. Bianca Belair taking on Sasha Banks. Give me my Black Girl Magic match at WrestleMania 37. And that way, because see now, if they're going to do it this way, we're going to end into the Bayley thing, have Bianca Belair win the Rumble now. You can build her. You could build her up, and you can have Bianca Belair win the Rumble, and then go on into challenge, because Sasha's longest run by statistics is 34 days as a champion. And I'm like, she needs to have Bayley's came off a 300-some day run, so Sasha can hold this belt until WrestleMania. You can build. They've been building Bianca Belair up the right way, believe it or not. Also, they're giving her the vignettes, coming here, showcasing her power.
So my thing on that is, how you gonna have her in the Royal Rumble, dominating, has the most eliminations in the Women's Rumble, and then act like we're just supposed to not remember who she is?
That was a big problem on Raw. I mean, I'm glad she get a better shot on SmackDown. And like I said, if she can, she beat up Selena Vega one week, so hopefully she can do Billie Kay the next week. But keep building her up, put her in a Survivor Series matchup, and then make her have me feuds, and then put her in the Royal Rumble, have her win the Royal Rumble, and then have her challenge Sasha, and that will be the matchup at WrestleMania 37. It books itself, okay? If we're not doing the Bayley thing at WrestleMania, it books itself. So, but I think this is a great way to close it, and I really think that the Bayley and Sasha one was the best women's Hell in a Cell match. I did love Becky and Sasha too. It's just that I went in there knowing Becky was going to win. This one, I came in here. Remember, we made the predictions. I thought Bayley was going to take this one. But it was good seeing Sasha doing that. It's good seeing their rivalry is so long. It's good to see certain callbacks. That's why I put it over the Becky and Sasha one. So we're backstage, and then we're interviewing the Hurt Business. MVP talks about how Mustafa Ali won an open challenge to Retribution member tonight, and then he says, well, look, the CEO of the Hurt Business, Bobby Lashley, is ready for the fight. And then he said, well, who should it be? And the show business says Slapjack. And then, the one with the bad mask. And then so there's like, okay, well then, Bobby says he don't care who is it going to be. He's going to be out there in the ring ready. But MVP said, let's up the stakes a little bit. Then one of my guys will go out there. One of your guys are going to go out there. Nobody else is going to go to the ring. And let's make it a United States Championship match. So I was just like, it don't matter who it is. Bobby not losing that belt right now.
Yeah. If it was Ali, it could have been.
If it was Ali, I was scared. If it was Ali, he may have won that belt.
Yeah, it could have been believable, but if it wasn't Ali, then nah.
Yeah, so why she goes out there and it slapped.
Which in reality, Dominic Dijakovic would be a good United States champion, but who knows?
Exactly, but but he's stuck in this shit. So we get Slapjack and Bobby Lashley out there. First of all, this match didn't even went that long, but they tried to give Slapjack some offense here. But Bobby Lashley eventually just overpowers him and then puts him in the Hurt Lock, and then he taps out. Then all the Retribution comes down in there. By the way, the Hurt Business ain't rushing down there to get down there. Bobby Lashley's getting jumped, but then as Hurt starts walking down there, Bobby fights off Retribution by himself and cleans house by himself. Then once all the Hurt Business gets into the ring, Mustafa Ali slides in and then slides automatically right out as they all stare him down. So first of all, this already shows we're going downhill when it comes to Retribution because they are just getting manhandled. First of all, if Bobby Lashley is beating all your whole stable up by himself and don't need anybody else, then they are obviously care more about the Hurt Business and Retribution, which is thank you to me because I'm really a fan of Hurt Business, one of the best things of 2020. So, and then like I said, Bobby will lose that belt to those slapjack. So, I think I can see a Survivor Series match on the horizon. I think you need to recruit Naomi to the group because me and Yim is over there with Retribution. I think you're going to have a 5-on-5 intergender, and you can have Naomi on the team also. No, man, drop the glow stuff, man. Blow the glow stuff and come over to the Hurt. Come over to the Black and Gold and come over to the Hurt Business. They can use a woman in the stable.
Yeah, but you're going to waste the Survivor Series match on them? On Retribution?
You know they're going to have more than one.
Yeah, they're going to have a woman, a man and a woman. Do we really need a Retribution one?
Well, look, if it's not, I don't know if the order is going to be Raw versus SmackDown because they put a lot of emphasis on 30 years of The Undertaker in this Survivor Series. So I don't even know if they're going to do Raw versus SmackDown. So if they don't, especially they're probably not going to count NXT, then you gotta find some Survivor Series matches, and that's the only one that equips to a Survivor Series matchup. And then the other ones you kind of really don't need. Unless you do some makeshift stuff, unless you do Raw versus SmackDown, you ain't got no stables really on SmackDown unless you just throw people together like they did on SmackDown this past Friday, which is stupid. Unless they do Team Roman versus Team Uso to get them back into the family.
I feel like it's gonna be Raw versus SmackDown.
So if it's Raw versus SmackDown, we don't get Hurt Business taking on a Retribution, but I still think Hurt Business can benefit from having a woman on their team.
I think Hurt Business and Retribution gonna have their match on Raw before Survivor Series.
That's cool. I'm saying the point is I still think they benefit from having a woman on there.
I don't think it's gonna be Naomi though. Knowing how WWE do, it's gonna be like Alicia Fox or somebody.
She ain't even there. She don't even work there no more.
Exactly.
No, you know what? I swear to you, look into the camera right now. I swear, if it's Eva fucking Marie, I'm losing my shit. If it's Eva fucking Marie, I would lose my shit.
I think Mia Yim would have been perfect for the Hurt Business, but she's with Retribution. So I don't know, but if it's Eva Marie, I'm gonna die laughing.
No, man, I swear, if it's Eva fucking Marie, I'm losing my shit. Okay, I'm just putting that out there right now. Main event time for the WWE Championship. Drew McIntyre taking on Randy Orton, and after seeing how this match goes, it should have been the main event. It's another Randy Orton Hell in a Cell matchup. Drew McIntyre comes out first, red flag, and we're like, why? Because Randy Orton is just as another cameraman. Starts fighting up Drew McIntyre. They start brawling on the outside. Go over to the table and start brawling on top of there. So this is what I'm talking about when you have Hell in a Cell matches. When you have 3 on the same card. They was like, well, this is going to be the one that's going to go outside, okay? Because you got to bring it up somewhere. And me personally, the way this match was going, they made this a main event for that one spot, which I didn't care for in the first place. But
now, Kevin Dunn has been doing this for almost 30 years, but yet he can't catch somebody falling off a table into a table.
He missed that one, didn't he?
You can cut 30 times somebody hitting somebody with a chair before they even hit him once. You cut 30 times, but yet the spot that everybody wants, the spot that this pay-per-view is for, you miss it. Come on.
Yep. So Randy Orton, they finally get in the ring. The referee rings the bell. The match has started. Orton got pants on. And then he tries to get RKO to McIntyre, but then McIntyre takes him out. And then it's a simple, slow, actually boring brawl. This is Drew McIntyre's first time in the Hell in a Cell.
Since Randy Orton, we're talking about
it is, but it's also Drew McIntyre's first time in the Hell in a Cell. And I'm just like, this is like the Randy Orton and Sheamus, Randy Orton and John Cena, Randy Orton and Mark Henry. Actually, I didn't mind the Mark Henry one too bad. But this was, these Randy Orton Hell in a Cell matches, they bore the hell out of me. And
Randy Orton fought Mark Henry in the Hell in a Cell?
Say what?
Randy Orton fought Mark Henry in the Hell in a Cell?
I didn't mind that one too much because it was Mark
I'm
Henry.
saying he did though. Like
Yes, he
I
did
lost that from my mind.
for for the world at Hell in a Cell in 2011. Look at Mark Henry versus Randy Orton for the World Championship at Hell in a Cell. That happened.
I have no recollection of that. But all right.
That
Ooh.
happened. Just like I found clips on YouTube today of Jagged Edge singing at Tay Long's wedding.
You haven't seen that?
Yo,
Oh my God.
I forgot all about Jagged Edge being there and Vince rocking side to side.
One of the best, funniest, weirdest SmackDowns ever. You got Bruce there for
Yes.
why. You got them there singing. You got him passing out. You got Jeff Hardy and all them doing the little wave. I was like, oh. Yeah.
The blackest SmackDown ever. And Nina showed me that. I forgot all about that. I was like, oh, I remember this.
That, and then you got Godfather. We might have to do a review of that one day or something.
Yeah, we have to. We have to. First of all, I don't know if it's on the network because
it's on the network. It's on the network.
They will cut out Jagged Edge.
Nah, they did.
Oh, they did?
Nah, because that's why because I seen it on YouTube and I was like, wait a minute, what episode is this from? And I looked up the episode and I went back and watched on YouTube. I watched the full episode. It's a good episode. It's one of those random entertaining episodes of SmackDown 2006.
2006. Okay, well, you know what? We'll talk about this at the review though. So, Randy Orton is sitting there. You got a table. It's steel steps, the big size place on the outside of the ring. He rams Drew into that. They have a table that Randy Orton goes through. These are the spots that's happening, but the Randy Orton pulls out the bolt cutters, and I'm like, so you bring them in the cage? Okay, so he snaps the bolt cutters. So they're on the outside. Fight on the ramp a little bit. Then all of a sudden, Randy looks up, and they go to the top. I'm like, so this is why y'all wanted to be the main event, so they can go to the top of the cage.
I don't know
why. They go to the top of the cage.
We both know Randy Orton or Drew McIntyre ain't taking no bump from the top of the cell. So
exactly, or even doing some hard fight on top of the cell. So Randy's up there, and then McIntyre's like, "We're doing this," and climbs up there.
Just real quick, when we gonna get somebody believable for a Hell in a Cell match?
When you say believable, what you mean by believable?
I think Seth and Kevin Owens was the last believable people that we'll say might jump off, or Shane,
Well, if they book something good, you know what I'm saying, they'll be believable.
Because I think
and Randy Orton was the last believable one.
Yeah.
Because Jeff
Hardy threw him off the cell. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so that's why.
That Kevin Owens one though, and they was actually fighting on the top, and he kept giving him power bombs on the top of the cell.
Yeah. Oh God. Old school. They're on the top now, and they stare each other down. But then Randy Orton has like a pipe or something like that he's gonna attack Drew McIntyre with, and he tries to go for hit him, but he doesn't work. And they like get a couple hits on the top, and then Randy Orton starts making his way down. And I'm like, so why'd you go up there in the first place? Like it'd be different. I know they wasn't gonna take no bumps, but they can at least fight for a couple minutes up there. Claymore kick up there, RKO up there as Drew McIntyre was kicking out of one of everything. So you figure it would take more than one RKO to take him down. Just saying, putting that out there. So I figured he probably get more RKO on the top of the cage, stuff like that. But no, they start going down on their footrest, and they go down to the middle of the cage.
TNA size holes in their cage.
Say what?
They had the TNA size holes in their cage.
Exactly, yeah. So they was in the middle of the cage, and the first thing I thought of was, here we go with that Dean Ambrose Seth Rollins spot. Remember in 2014, he was on the side of the cage.
It seems like somebody does that every year.
Huh?
It seems like ever since then, somebody has done that every year.
But the funny thing is, that has the last time that spot happened was Shane McMahon and KO.
Well, did they not do it with Dolph and Seth?
Oh, they did that because first of all, they weren't even in that match.
Yeah.
They weren't even in that match. I was like, why did they even? They wasn't even in part of that match. They was just there. That's when Drew McIntyre was up there also, but they wasn't a part of the matchup. That was when it was the Roman and Braun Strowman debacle. Yeah. So that's why I didn't even count that bullshit. But if it was a free for all matchup like that, then yeah, maybe so. So Drew McIntyre's there. He's getting hit. And Drew McIntyre takes the table bump. But like we were talking about earlier, Kevin Dunn missed the whole table bump. And I'm just like, oh God. So they had to keep showing replays of it. But then McIntyre starts, gets the will, has to crawl back into the ring so he can finish his match, because the match must take finish in the ring according to the rules, right? So we get back in there, and then McIntyre starts getting fired up onto Randy Orton, and they start beating him up, going against the cage, and rubbing his face against the cage and stuff like that. Fast forward this shit. He goes to set up for a Claymore kick, and he goes for the first Claymore kick he does hit, and Orton rolls outside the ring. So McIntyre selling his back from falling to the table, can't get Orton there, gives Orton time to recover and all that. Then he goes for the second Claymore kick. Orton ducks out the way. McIntyre goes flying over Orton. Then Orton hits the RKO out of nowhere. So I'm thinking that McIntyre's going to kick out at 2. Since he's been kicking out of 1 of everything, and since we didn't get the RKO at the top of the cell, okay, if we got at the top of the cell, this would be a great place to end it. But since we didn't, he gets it 1, 2, 3. That's it. Randy Orton is your new 14-time WWE champion, tied with Triple H.
Mm-hmm. I think 3rd overall.
We talk about it records.
Yeah.
Yeah, because John Cena's first.
With Flair and then Cena tied, and then it's him and Triple H are tied.
Yeah, Flair, Cena tied, of course. Yeah, but I think they're going to still be tied. I don't think Cena's going to beat Ric Flair's record, but
Nah, you know why they're not gonna be tied? Because Ric Flair's coming back for one more shot. Woo!
Woo! You came to the right place. Okay. So that was the matchup. It was like, is the Miz going to cash in or something? He won the Money in the Bank briefcase. No, there's no Miz cash in or anything like that. But Prime Time did text me a good knowledge that 10 years ago on November 23rd, 2010, the Miz cashed in on Randy Orton. Now, I don't know what date November 23rd lands on. Monday?
Yes.
So it's a possibility for 10 years in Orlando that it happened, that he will cash in on Randy Orton and reclaim the WWE Championship. It's a possibility. That's after Survivor Series.
That would be a nice full circle moment, but then again, storytelling and WWE don't match, so maybe not.
Only one can hope. So that would
be nice though. Really, I would legit be happy because of a full circle moment, and then who knows? Maybe he'll fight John Cena at WrestleMania. John Cena's the heel, and I don't know.
Okay.
You know,
I don't need that much.
That was too much. That was too much.
I don't need that much of a full circle moment at all.
It still will be a full circle moment if they have Miz beat Orton on November 23rd, 2020, at the 10-year anniversary. I think that would be nice.
I agree with you on that one. So there you guys have it. It's Hell in a Cell. So Prime Time, when do you give this passing or failing for Hell in a Cell?
I might have to give this a failing grade.
Really?
I like 2 matches on this show, but am I going to rewatch it? Not at all.
Okay. I'm going to say rewatchability. I'm going to get a pay-per-view a thumbs up. Slight thumbs up because I enjoy the Roman Hell in a Cell match. I definitely enjoyed Sasha Bailey. The Drew McIntyre Randy Orton one it picked up, but it was still boring. For the most part, they tried to do the cell type thing, the handle kind of spot stuff like that. Randy Orton won the title. I ain't gonna lie, it did surprise me. I didn't mind the Hurt Business thing because they gotta be quick at first. They gotta be a competitive match. Just make that quick to be a buffer to get to the main event. Miz win the Money in the Bank briefcase of Tucker turning, which was unnecessary, but it happened. So there's a lot of things that kept the flow going of the show until we got mostly to the end. Because we all knew all the matches between the Hell in a Cell matches were just buffer matches. It's all about the Hell in a Cell matches and how they deliver. I thought it did okay. So I can't give it when it has all that to it. I can't give it such a much of a failing grade. So I do give it a passing grade.
If they had the thumbs to the side, I would give it a thumb to the side.
Oh yeah, I got you on that one. Like we don't set the bar, we are the bar. So post any comments down below. What did you guys think of Hell in a Cell? Is a passing grade for you or failing grade? Hit the like button if you guys enjoyed my reaction. And make sure you guys check out the Prime Side podcast also. And check out the No Gimmicks Needed Wrestling podcast. Our recent podcast does have some audio problems, so we do apologize for that. But I put a little disclaimer up there for you of that. And make sure you like, subscribe, and share to NC Studios for more wrestling content and wrestling pay-per-views. going into the end of the year. Make sure, I don't care who it's for, just make sure you go out there and vote, people. Make sure you're out there and get the job done. So, once again, this is NCN Place to Be. Sean Trey Mustaine, and not Deion Sanders for prime time.
All right.
All right. And the Nerd Coalition is out.